being on drugs. Man, they gave me that Vicodin and I was dopey. I felt sick. So after 2 days, I took myself off and I just ice. I just numbed my foot. I couldn't get the boot on for like 5 days because it was so swollen. Man, I don't know.
Hello, everyone. Tele and video conferencing in. I'm just gonna real quick. I see that Terry is here. John.
Make sure I have it.
See Jim.
Straight. Keep it straight.
And Nancy. And whose phone number is ending in 15?
That's Eddie.
Eddie,
man.
Eddie. Thank you, Eddie. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and that actually puts us at a quorum.
It's a nice thing. Three times.
And just so everyone's aware, if there's stuff going on in the back room or background on your feed, we may mute you while the meeting's going on. So you may need to unmute yourself for the voting, and we will have to do a roll call voting once that comes up. And also to let everybody know, we will be streaming this live on YouTube to meet our public meeting rules. So just keep that in mind.
Live now.
Charlie, is it live on YouTube now? Yes. And Tim, we have a quorum and ready to go when you are.
Okay, I was going to wait till 3. Okay. Well, welcome everybody back to, finally we can get together for our meeting. One of the agenda items that we will be talking about is to see if we can get a year schedule out ahead of time so that we're not delayed as we were this past month. I'd like to thank everybody for being here. So I'm going to call the Government Educational Access Channels Committee meeting to order. It is 3 o'clock, and our first item for approval of our minutes. If you have looked, hopefully, at the May 20th, 2021 minutes, and if you have any questions about those minutes, we'll go ahead and move forward with a motion to approve. But do I hear anybody have any questions about the minutes of the May 20th, 2021? Hearing none, can I get a motion on the floor to approve the minutes?
Move to approve.
Thank you, Wally. We got a second?
Second.
Craig, thank you. We got a motion on the floor to approve the minutes. Skip, if you can do the roll call, please.
Yep. Nancy, how do you vote?
Aye.
Jim?
Aye.
Craig?
Aye.
Terry?
Aye.
And Eddie?
Aye.
And Wally?
Aye.
And Keith is not here yet. Tim?
Aye.
And John? Oh, Keith is here.
Keith just popped on, yep.
Keith, how do you vote?
I vote aye.
Approving of the minutes. Thanks. And John?
Aye.
Perfect. That's unanimous.
Okay, unanimously, the minutes have been approved. So thank you for that. We'll move to item 3, staff reports, and Skip will take us through the items.
Yep. In regards to production, in addition to our regular programming efforts, we are working with the National Park Service to produce several videos about the Bonner Bridge fishing pier that they're getting ready to open in the next couple months. And also, Charlie is working on a Body Island Lighthouse climb video, which he will be filming in early October. We expect to have that out shortly after that. Other upcoming projects that Charlie's working on will be an animal control video that will be in collaboration with the different towns and their animal control entities. Coverage of Dare County Arts Council Speaker Series. Charlie's been collaborating with them on producing some really cool stuff, one of which recently was Mr. John McCord was the star of. He'll also be doing a video exploring many of the names here in the Outer Banks, such as Manio, Wanchese, and Kill Devil Hills. Charlie has, Charlie has hit the ground running and done a great job taking on several entity videos for our Destination Dare and Dare education awareness programs. And we also expect to receive some forum videos from the League of Women Voters. I believe we're expecting 5 videos from them for several election forums that they'll be hosting over the next month. Operations, operationally, we recently installed the new server system last week, and the initial installation went well and wrapped ahead of schedule, and now we're dealing with bugs that keep popping up. Every time we fix something, something else pops up new, so we're in the process of working with that. I'm hoping to have everything settled by the end of this week, but I'm working with our vendor and our Cablecast support to make sure that everything's going to be going well, as well as IT. And Matt and IT has been a huge help with that. And that's pretty much my report. I'm assuming everybody knows at this point, I've put in my notice and will be leaving at the end of October. And I know Dorothy will talk about the hiring process a little later on.
Okay. Thank you, Skip. Anybody have any questions for Skip before we move on? Okay, appreciate that, Skip. We'll keep you on the on the floor here. Ongoing business year-to-date budget report.
Yep. Right now I'm still awaiting 2 LPDI closeouts, one from Duck and one from Kill Devil Hills. And that will help us kind of wrap up our budget from last year. Something that popped up recently, our PEG funding has dropped again. And I think now it's at a point where we should probably start planning in future budgets to cut back by about 10 grand per year. That's if it goes back up, I don't know, but averaging out the most recent payment, which was a little less than the last one, I think we want to start planning future budgets for to expect around 260,000 instead of the 270,000 that we normally get. So that's something of note that I think everybody should probably keep an eye on moving forward. But other than that, everything is fine. Status quo, pretty much. And I'm hoping to have all big major purchases completed before I leave. So,
Any questions on the budget that Skip just proposed? Okay, hearing none, we'll move on. Thank you, Skip. We just had our subcommittee LPDI request, and we need to vote on these. Hopefully you've gotten a copy if you looked at them. We do want to start with Dare County Schools. Keith, we did approve, but we needed some more information, maybe more specific information. If you can talk a little bit about the proposal as far as the equipment needs and what exactly is that, and what do you think that might cost? And then the other aspect is the content of the short stories. Can you tell us a little bit about that too?
Absolutely. I'll be glad to do that, Mr. Chairman. One of the things that we're looking at doing, we did this 2 years ago, and then we rediverted funds last year to help support the purchase of sound equipment that we now use when we broadcast our Board of Education meetings. And so last year was kind of an anomaly, and I do appreciate the committee making that amendment last year and letting us use those funds to help purchase that sound equipment. But this year we'd like to go back requesting the full amount of funds to do contractual services with Baldwin Video Productions to produce short stories on the schools. And what we really have done with that is the Board of Education rotates every monthly meeting to a different school site. When they go to that school site, then they recognize the school. And so what we'd like to do with Benny through this money is every time the board goes to a school, we'd like to feature that school in a video that will then play for the Board of Education meeting. And so that's what that money would be used to go to. And I was just looking here to pull up my copy of the proposal, and there's not any equipment needs with that. So I'm just pulling it up to make sure I've not missed spoken on that. But the full amount we'd like to go to just contractual services with Baldwin.
Okay. 'Cause, yeah, it did say here, Keith, and equipment purchases. We were just, wondering about that. If that was, so right now you're saying there's not equipment purchases. You don't see that. You just see all the money going towards the digital stories with Benny Baldwin's. That's correct? Okay, good.
That's correct. No equipment, just the full amount going to contractual services.
Okay. Thank you, Keith. Anybody have any other questions for Keith?
Yeah, and I apologize. I see here in the piece I'm looking at now, it says digital stories and equipment purchases. So I would move for us to strike out that equipment purchases piece there and just specify that it is just for the digital story. So I apologize for that.
That's okay. Yep.
Typo there.
Very good. Okay, Skip, do you want to vote on each individual? Could we do it as a whole?
I think we're supposed to do it each individual.
Okay, I'll do that.
But I will request, we need a motion to
Yeah, we need a
approve it
motion
with the addition of.
Yeah, okay. So at this time, we're going to go ahead and make an amendment to the request, and as Keith told us, to eliminate the purchase of equipment. So I need a motion on the floor here to, in a second, to approve that amendment.
Motion to approve as amended.
Thank you, Nancy. I get a second?
Second.
Okay, we got a second from Wally. Any further discussion? Okay, if we can put this to a vote, Skip, you can take roll.
Yep. Nancy, how do you vote?
Aye.
Jim? Jim Connors, Southern Shores, how do you vote?
He's up, he's good.
Thumbs up, that's an aye.
He's good.
Next will be Craig.
Aye.
Renee's not here. Eddie, how do you vote? Eddie Mann, how do you vote?
Aye.
Thank you, sir. Wally?
Aye.
And Keith?
Aye.
And Tim?
Aye.
John?
Aye.
And that's unanimous. Thank you.
Okay, that Dare County Schools is approved for their request. We'll go to the second item is Dare County. Dare County, Dorothy is here to talk a little bit about that, but it's pretty straightforward. Dorothy, would you like to say anything about the Dare County request?
The county's request was or is to produce video segments, up to 10 segments, and we'll actually contribute $4,000 from the public relations budget to produce up to 10, as I said, video segments. One of those, it looks like, will be a longer segment than originally anticipated, a fishery segment. So that number, the 10, may actually drop some. So I don't know the specific number, but that's our request. It would be with Benny Baldwin, and it would be about county services. We actually are working on a plan. Some of the videos that we may do with our LPDI money may actually cover some countywide services, which I think is great for the channel. So that's our request.
Thank you, Dorothy. Could I get a motion on the floor to approve in a second?
Move to approve.
Wally's in the first. Can I get a second?
I'll second.
Thank you, Craig. So the motion's on the floor for the Dare County proposal. Any discussions, any questions about the proposal? Hearing none, we can take the roll call, Skip.
Nancy, how do you vote?
Aye.
Jim Connors? Thumbs up. Craig?
Aye.
Terry?
Aye.
Eddie Mann?
Aye.
Wally?
Aye.
Keith?
Aye.
Tim Sweeney,
Aye.
and John McCord.
Aye.
That's everyone.
Okay, thank you. Our next LPDI request comes from the town of Kitty Hawk, and we have Craig here too, and Craig can kind of give a little bit about that request for us.
Yes, this is for recording equipment update for the council chambers of Smith Room where we hold our town council meetings. This equipment unfortunately played out at the beginning of a recent town council meeting, was very embarrassing. Upgrade the video switcher in the amount of $5,000.
Okay, thank you, Craig. Can we get a motion on the floor to approve?
Move to approve.
Thank you, Wally. Second?
Second.
Okay, John, thank you. John, thank you, Wally, for that. Any discussions about the Kitty Hawk proposal? Hearing none, we'll go ahead and vote. Roll call, Skipper.
Yep. Nancy, how do you vote?
Aye.
Jim Connors. Thumbs up. Craig?
Aye.
Terry Gray. Terry, how do you vote? Look like you said aye. Give me a thumbs up. I'll take that. Or
Thumbs up.
Are you muted, Terry?
Muted.
there we-
Muted. Aye.
Okay,
There
thank
we
you.
go.
Eddie, how do you vote?
Aye.
And takes us to Wally
Aye.
and Keith Parker
Aye.
and Tim
Aye.
and John McCord.
Aye.
Thank you. That's everyone.
Okay, thank you, everybody. That concludes the LPDI
No,
request.
we still have COA.
Oh, no, you guys approved that already, didn't? No, I'm teasing you. The chairman trying to sneak you through. The College of the Albemarle, we made a proposal. This is something we've done before. It's something we're trying to do probably every other year to look into our local artists, writers, those that have contributed significantly to our county and to our, enrichment of, art and everything else. If you remember 2 years ago, we did it on Glenn Ure, and it was a 20-minute to 25-minute video as far as his work. And part of that to be shown to the community, but it's also as an educational tool for our history classes and our English classes to do some research and to further learn about our community people that have just been really tremendous contributors to our county. So we're asking for the full $5,000. The last time we did it, we spent everything but $36 of it. And we are, like Dare County Schools, are requesting Benny Baldwin to do this documentary on these particular writers. And the one that we're looking at right now is Wayne Gray. We went from Glenn Ure, now we're going to go into Wayne Gray and do Wayne Gray. He contributed quite a bit to our community. So that's our proposal to continue the legacy of the Outer Banks in this area. So if we can get a motion to approve and a second, and we can continue discussion on this. Can I get a motion?
Motion to approve.
Thank you, Greg. Can I get a second?
Second.
You got a second? Thank you. Okay, any questions or further discussions about this project? Okay, thank you. Hearing none, if we can take the roll call.
Nancy, how do you vote?
Aye.
Jim Connors. Aye, thumbs up. Craig.
Aye.
Terry Gray.
Aye.
Eddie Mann.
Aye.
Wally.
Aye.
And Keith.
Aye.
Tim.
Aye.
John McCord.
Aye.
That's everyone.
Okay. Now I can say it. That concludes our LPDI request. Thank you, everybody, for all the work and looking into this, and everybody who's made these proposals. They're good stuff. Item number B on new businesses. One of the things that I talked to Skip about is the difficulty as far as our schedules. And I felt that we, at this meeting, could propose some recommendations, get some recommendations on how we can kind of put it into the calendar so that it's there and we know what day of the month that we will be meeting, so we can adjust our calendars accordingly and we don't have to scramble to try to find a quorum. So I'm open right now to recommendations, including you, Skip. I know that you're the one that had to try to pull us all together. Is there anybody that would make a recommendation at this point that it would be a good time of the month, a good day of the month for us to plug it into our calendars? Skip, you want to try to just get us started? What you think is, as you see as a group, what's the most convenient time? Days?
Yeah, I know in the past it was usually the fourth Wednesday of every month. I feel like there have been some board meetings that are taking place on Wednesdays that interfere with some folks. So I would maybe suggest Thursday, because I don't really see a lot of meetings, council meetings and board meetings taking place on Thursday. So maybe the fourth Thursday of every month.
Okay. Anybody else looking at your calendars or seeing what particular day of the week and what particular week would be the best for you all? Okay.
I'll defer to the other members. I would say Tuesdays typically would be difficult for us because we have our Board of Ed meetings once a month on Tuesdays. But I definitely know Wednesdays and Thursdays would be preferable. But again, I'll do anything I can to make it work based on the consensus of the group.
Okay, thank you, Keith. I appreciate that.
My only comment to the fourth Thursday of a month is that when we get into Thanksgiving, Christmas, New Year's, that holiday, winter holiday season, I think it's going to disrupt meetings, but maybe the committee wouldn't be meeting anyway. So it's just something to think about.
Yeah, that's a really good point.
Yeah, definitely will take out November.
Yeah.
Good point, Nancy. Yeah. Well, Keith, you mentioned Wednesdays and Thursdays. I mean, Wednesdays are fine with me. I'm like you. Mondays and Tuesdays at the college are usually very bogged down with meetings with, committees and stuff. Anybody else think about Wednesdays, fourth Wednesday? Would that be a problem?
Depends on the time. When the fourth Wednesday is the last Wednesday of the month, I have an airport authority meeting at 4:00, so it would depend on the time.
Okay,
Otherwise, I could probably make it.
4:00. Okay,
And we could do earlier than 3
yeah.
if that would work better for folks.
Is the time a problem for anybody if we moved it up an hour? Says starting at 3, start at 2.
No problem here.
Thank you, Terry. Okay. Well, what I'm hearing right now that maybe the fourth Wednesday of the month and we're making it 2:00.
Mhm.
Is that? Okay?
Yeah, and then I'll set it for that way for the year. And then if
Yeah.
we need to cancel one,
Right. And what Skip is saying, if the meeting's not needed, we can cancel one, obviously, and that's happens at times. So it's not going to be every month, but we'll look at that. I mean, I don't really think we get together in December at all. I've never been on this committee where we've had a December meeting, so,
yeah, the only thing that really happens in winter is budget proposal time, I think.
right.
I can't remember if I do that presented in January or.
I think it's January.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Okay, we don't need to vote on that, do we? I don't, that's just an item that we're gonna put. So we're gonna just go ahead and make that schedule. We'll have that scheduled meeting sent out by Skip for all of us. We can put it on our calendar and we'll go from there. Thank you, everybody.
And I'll also publicize it too. So that way we cover that angle with letting the newspapers know.
Yep,
Yeah, we're gonna public notice it for the entire year.
yeah. I think that'd be good, yeah.
Put those dates on the county's calendar,
Mhm.
and we'll share with clerks or anybody that wants to advertise it on their websites as well. I think that's gonna give people a better idea, and then we'll cancel when it's not necessary.
Okay. Thank you, Dorothy. Okay. All right, we'll move on to the next new business item is hiring a new channels manager. So I'm going to let Dorothy, if you could take us through this, and then we'll have any questions for you after you finish.
Sure. First of all, I'd just like to express my gratitude to Skip. It was 6 years ago that he began, almost 6, began working as our and then became the channel manager. And I do believe that under his leadership, he's done a phenomenal job. I can tell you, we've been spending some time going through all of the processes, and we'll continue to do that. And I'm also grateful that he provided us with, gosh, seven or so weeks lead time so that we do have this time to spend together. There is the amount of paperwork and record keeping that's required because of our state funding is unbelievable. And his records are very well done, very well organized. I'm going to miss him, but I am thankful, Skip. I do think you've done a great job, and I think you leave us in a good position.
Thank you.
Hopefully everyone received the job opening or posting that I sent out to the committee members last week. This position, it has a working title as video production and channels manager, and the reason we gave it a working title is to better describe what it is as we post it and look for candidates that have the qualifications. And it's got a lot to it. You know, there's the administrative part, there's the technical side, just like Skip was talking about with the installation of the new equipment, and then of course the production and overseeing that. But I think we have 5 applications so far that have come in, and in reflecting on the process by which we hire, we've had a subcommittee in the past that has worked and been involved in the interviews. I think it's difficult to coordinate that in some ways. So I was going to propose, and I want input. I don't have a formal proposal, but possibly bringing in some county staff, like our IT director. I haven't spoken with Matt about it. And then maybe one committee member to be involved in the initial interviews, and then narrow it down to maybe say 3 candidates, and then have more of the committee involved in those final interviews, just for mere coordination. And it's difficult. Y'all are very, very busy people. So that was going to be my suggestion, but I'd like your feedback on that. And
Well, as chairman, I appreciate that you would think about our time and stuff. I like the idea, as just coming from my perspective, of getting somebody from the county that really knows the integrals of the job, the IT stuff. Because it is a lot here. We see the production, what a person can do or can't do, but behind the scenes, it's a different story. So I do like that preliminary. I'm really open to hear from you all. I know that John, I referred to you, John, you were a very much big part of the hiring of Skip. You were on that committee. I don't think there's anybody else. Wally, were you part of that too? No, I don't think so. So I'd like to, not to put anything on you, John, but how do you feel about it? Because that process you've been through, I don't think anybody else in this committee has been through that process. So I'd love to hear from you, John, about it.
I'm certainly happy to do it. It was myself and Melody and Monica on the subcommittee. And if Dorothy would like my help, I'm happy to be there. I want to just briefly echo Dorothy's comments. Skip has been an absolute pleasure to work with, and while I'm sad to see him go, I wish him the best of luck in his new endeavor. And I wish you weren't going, Skip, but I'm happy for you.
Thanks, John.
Craig, do you have any cuffs? I know you police officer and that sort of thing. Do you have any handcuffs or anything?
I do. I do.
We might
we
can
can
prevent
take care
this
of
from happening.
Yes, sir.
We all agree, John. I tell you what, with my Irish background, I can't say, we don't say goodbye in the Irish family, but I still think I got another month with him, so I'm going to share my
Still plenty of time.
plenty of times to roast
Plenty
him.
of
I think maybe we need to roast him. What do you guys, no, I'm kidding. But John, yeah, thank you for those comments. I know that all of you here have a special relationship with Skip in different ways and what he's done for all of us. But we'll get into that later when we get down the road. But at this point, does anybody else have anything that you would like to recommend to Dorothy at this point to do the search committee and how we're going to go about it? Recommendations, or you want to just let Dorothy and myself work this out and get back with you all on, who we might need to make the final decision?
I like Dorothy's suggestion. I think it's a great idea.
Okay.
I do too. And I think having John as part of that, having gone through it before,
Yeah.
that experience will be extremely helpful.
Yeah, John, I hope you heard that. I concur with my colleagues up here that the experience that you have, I know you've actually worked, with Benny and with Skip on projects, and the inner parts of what this job entails and what type of skill level that we need to be as successful as we've been. So, John, I would like to ask you to keep your door open for that, with that request, if we request you to be part of that. So, Dorothy, hearing the committee members, I think that it's a good way to go. So,
And I would like to lean on John as far as reviewing applicants and that, going through those initial interviews if you have the time, John.
Yeah, I would love to.
thank you, John. Anything else, Dorothy? You good? Okay.
That's all I have.
Okay, thank you, Dorothy. Okay, that leads us to item 6, members' agendas. Nancy, you're first up. If you can kind of give us a lowdown about Duck, Town of Duck.
Okay, well, I don't have anything specific to report. Probably everybody has heard or read through the grapevine that we canceled our annual Duck Jazz Festival, which was a disappointment, but it was the right decision to keep the festival, up to everybody's expectations, and we look forward to hosting it, in the future. I know there's still a number of community events that are going on in the fall, so, we expect that there will be a lot of activity and tourism still happening, in the community, but that won't be one of the things happening up here this fall. So.
Okay, thank you, Nancy. Yeah, COVID's hurt a lot of different types of, festivals and programs. So, but we understand that, that's for sure. Hey, Jim, from Southern Shores. Jim, you want to give an update with Southern Shores?
Charlie, what's that saying?
Can't unmute. Okay. All right, Jim.
Nothing from Jim.
Gotcha. Craig, Kitty Hawk.
Yeah, real quick, I don't think we will have another meeting, but a lot of us are involved. That we've got elections around the corner, right, Mr. Terry Gray? And just want to remind
You're correct.
everyone to turn out to vote, no matter who you're voting for, turn out to vote. And recently at our September town council meeting in Kitty Hawk, Tim Sweeney and Dr. Jack Bagwell of College of Albemarle came to speak to us. Very good presentations and PowerPoint presentation on the new College of Albemarle campus here in Manteo. A lot of you know my affiliation with College of Albemarle, and I was sitting up there on council, not only proud to be a council member, but proud to be a member of the College of Albemarle family. Great job. That's all I've got.
Thank you, Craig. Appreciate that. We really enjoyed that too. And for those who don't know, that Dr. Bagwell really wanted to get to know the community. And what I did is I set up numerous town council presentations, the Board of Visitors, and he got to know a lot of our elected folks and also our volunteers. And he's totally committed 100% to being very active here at Dare County as the president. And he actually comes out and I have an office for him. He's the first president in my term here as the dean. He has an office on our campus, and he comes out here quite a bit to work with the community. So thank you for those words, Craig. Kill Devil Hills, Commissioner Terry Gray. Terry.
Yes, sir. And I want to say, Mayor Garris, yes, I know we've got elections coming up, and I think you're going to be busy as well.
Yes, sir.
But a little bit of an LPDI update. The town is finalizing the last 2 videos, which are in post-production right now. Benny is editing a segment on the town's lighted crosswalks, which are in their first phase of installation. He's also placing the finishing touches on the KDH version of Banks Outer Banks, adapting the Rotary initiative, which looks to appreciate everyone who has been instrumental in keeping the town's operations running. Over the last, once the last 2 videos are complete, the town will be looking to apply for an LPDI grant, which may include some infrastructure updates to the town's current operations. Video segment projects may also be submitted. The town is creating some videos in-house with current staff. Our PIO, Rachel Tackett, and Police Captain John Tower are developing a segment on It Just Takes One, which demonstrates the KDH community's availability for volunteer involvement at multiple stages. Once complete, it'll be forwarded to the current TV for broadcast. And that pretty well sums up what's happening in KDH at this time.
Very good. Thank you, Terry. Appreciate that. Nags Head, we don't, Renee couldn't make the meeting. Eddie Manio, Town of Manio, give us an update.
Nothing to add. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you, Eddie. Vice Chairman Overman, Dare County.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Don't really have anything other than to mention that this Saturday, the Walk Against Addiction will be going on and starts about 10 o'clock on Saturday over around the KDH, the high school.
First Light?
First Light.
First Light High School.
And it'll be in that area there at one of the fields. But there's about 25 booths that'll be there, folks presenting information. So anybody that has an interest in that can show up for that. It's going to be real nice.
So is there anybody you need to contact, Wally, to get a table or anything like that, or
Yes, that would be Brenda Thacker.
Brenda? Okay. I don't know if you all heard that, but if you need a table, Brenda Thacker, we'll probably do that, get COA out there. I always like to have a connection to schools. Yeah, okay. Thank you, Wally. Good, just good stuff.
That's all I have.
All right, Dare County Schools, Keith.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Just one quick thing I would share. We're very excited about this. Superintendent shared this at our last board meeting, but we've been working for about 2 years trying to rally a partnership with NC State University, and we're very excited that we've reached the finish line on this project and negotiation. But essentially, we're going to be able to, through NC State and through a grant they're receiving, we're going to be able to fully fund a school administrator's master's program for a handful of our highly qualified teachers. And that program is going to begin in the next couple of months, and it'll be an 18-month fast track program. And then those teachers that are interested in enrolling or accepted will come out of the 18 months, and they will have a master's in school administration, and they will be eligible to go right into become an assistant principal or principal. And that program, including the books and everything, is fully funded through NC State. It won't cost our teachers a penny. So we're very, very excited about that. And that's going to go a long way to helping us build a talent pipeline to move into school administration. And I know Dean Sweeney, who's served in that role, knows that being a school principal is one of the hardest jobs you can have in K-12 education. And so we're very excited about getting some folks involved in that program, and it won't cost them a dime. So wanted to share that. We're also glad to have kids back in school. We're moving along. I think we're seeing a lot of successes. I could go on and list some things that we're very proud of, but we've got some very hardworking teachers that get up very early in the morning and oftentimes go home very late in the evening. And if it weren't for them, we really wouldn't be holding it together. So I want to shout out our amazing teachers and just thank everyone for your support. And, you know, we're just so blessed to have the support of the towns and communities that are in the county that really help the schools. So I want to thank everyone on the call and just let you know if there's anything I can do for you, please let me know. Thank you.
Keith, that's simply outstanding news. My mouth is wide open here. A free master's program and to support our teachers and to fulfill these tough administration jobs in the era of COVID is just badly needed. So congratulations. Please let Dr. Farley, congratulations from this committee. Wow, great stuff. College of the Albemarle, I do want to say one thing that I know, Jim, we couldn't get you on the audio, but Jim, I think you know that Dr. Bagwell and myself and the Dean of Workforce Development, we met with the fire chief at the Southern Shores Firehouse. And you have two outstanding chiefs. I believe the other person that you just hired is the assistant chief, and they're going to be utilizing the Southern Shores, brand new fire station, technology enriched to do fire classes and to do certification for volunteers. So Keith, that's going to be an opening. They're looking for some, high school seniors or those youngsters that want to get into volunteer fire. But that's going to be available at the Southern Shores Firehouse. So we're really happy that COA can provide that. But Jim, you guys, the town, you're basically giving us the instructors to do that, high-end instructors to do that. So congratulations to the chief there in Southern Shores for getting that on the COA educational workforce development. With the college, what we're doing, we're like Keith, we've finally have students back on campus, and the students have been fantastic as far as protocol, really giving us information about exposures, so that we've been very, very careful and taking care of each other. I can't say enough of how the students and faculty and staff and the community are really just watching out for each other. So with this COVID pandemic, we are looking at doing some different things in workforce development that I really wanted to just let everybody know out there. I've been talking a lot to the industries out there, from the elevator industry to electricians to marine diesel, electrical, and the college can't do all for every industry out here to just have a class. It would be way too expensive. So what the proposal that we made to industry out here is to have a basic 96-hour, I'm going to use electrical as an example. And from that 96-hour certification that students would go through, then we have enough folks here on our county to basically do a 150-hour apprenticeship. So for instance, if I got an electrical basics certificate, then I could talk to, let's say, the Atlantic Elevator or an electrician, or I could go to the Marine Diesel electrical program and get certification in hydraulics and further. So industry is going to really help us teach the integral part of that industry's skill level. and we'll do the basic and we'll set the table. So I'm excited about that. The electrical classes are going to start here in the spring, and we got the plumbing coming in and construction also. So we're kind of saturating the market with a lot of opportunities, because I want to remind everybody, and Keith knows this, that 80 schools are college transfer. They're really going for their 4-year degrees. And I told you this before, time and time again, our county has the highest success rate of completers going to a 4-year college and completing their 4-year degree than any other county basically in the state. And that's saying a lot about our school system, our K through 12, and our support system we have here for the county. Also want to let everybody know that the DARE Guarantee, I don't know if Vice Chairman Overman knows about this, but those funds are almost depleted because of the need of our community and the response our community has applied for this money. And so I'm letting the cat out of the bag a little bit here, but because that's just been a very successful program, getting so many people into the career and tech programs and also with the college transfer. So I got a lot more I could tell you, but the new building's going to be up and ready to go in January. We should be going in there mid-January, and we'll probably move halfway in our programs, and then by summer we'll be fully occupying the new building. So that's my report for the college. So I'll turn it over to you, John, Coastal Studies Institute.
Thanks, Tim. Yeah, we're gearing up for, we've got our undergraduate students here from UNC Chapel Hill right now. They're doing a vegetation study in Buxton Woods, and we're creating a video on that. We've got an upcoming Meet the Scientist with a new engineer, Teresa Ryan. That'll be next Thursday, so it'll be live on YouTube and then go on the TV channel along with all the other videos from past Meet the Scientist that I owe Skip, and he's mad at me about. So those are upcoming. We're gearing up for, we're recruiting right now. We actually hired a new person to recruit undergraduates for our ECU undergraduate program. We're recruiting for our spring semester experience at the coast program for ECU students. And we have gotten the go-ahead, Keith, this relates to Dare County Schools as well, to have students on campus outside of ECU students. So that's good news. Before this, with the exception of this summer with the 4 weeks of camp, we haven't had any K-12 students on our campus site. And gosh, it seems like forever. I don't know what it is at this point, a year and a half. So we're going to be reaching out to Dare County Schools and other schools to let them know that other school districts that we're ready to have students back on campus following COVID protocols. I have already penciled in 1,300 kids visiting CSI this spring, mostly from areas outside of northeastern North Carolina. So I love to see Dare County schools and some of our other school districts come see us as well and take a program, or maybe Keith and I can get back together and talk about a little more about how we plan to expand our partnership with Dare County schools. That's all from me for right now.
Okay, well, thank you, John. Dorothy, I always love to hear if there's anything coming from your department, anything like updating us, anything like that.
I didn't prepare any remarks
prepare?
today, but we've got plenty going on.
I know you do. We always love to hear from
And
you.
we are
So,
excited about the college. I was going to ask you, I'd like to get some of the updated stats on the guarantee program so that we
Yeah.
can update our website with some of that information.
That'd be great. I also would like to invite maybe you and Skip, if you'd like to take a 15-minute safety video, and we could do a walkthrough. You can see how far they've come. Wally, of course, you're always welcome.
That'd be
as
great.
Commissioner, but we've done that last Friday, and it is spectacular. I just can't say enough. People are just in awe about it.
It's exciting. I
That's
saw the
really-
windows going in. And Commissioner Gray in Kill Devil Hills, you've got the big event this weekend as well, right?
Yes, ma'am. I was going to say something about it before we closed. We've got the Dare County Motorcycle Toy Run that's going to be happening. and it's going to be leaving the Walmart parking lot at 11 o'clock going to Vertigo Tattoo. We raise money for underprivileged kids in Dare County at Christmas time, and this is one of our major functions. Also wanted to tell Keith that we're coming back on board this year with our scholarship program for the high schools, one for Cape Hatteras, one for First Flight, and one for Manio. We had to unfortunately hold off on them last year because of the COVID situation, but we have made plans to put that back into place this year. So you guys will be hearing from us with that scholarship. Going to be a big weekend. Everybody watch out for the motorcyclists. Going to be probably about 150 of us heading that way to Mans Harbor.
That's fantastic, Jerry. We always welcome our motorcycle family, that's for sure. We love that. We love those people. I tell you, they're great. Anybody else would like to say anything before we leave? Any other comments? I want to thank you all for taking the time. We got a lot of great things going on in the county here, and obviously this channel does a lot of marketing for us for everything that we just talked about. So I want to thank Dorothy and also you, Skip, and also Charlie back there. Thank you for what you do. I appreciate you too. So at this point, I need a motion for adjournment.
Motion to adjourn.
Craig, thank you. Get a second.
Second.
Thank you. Appreciate that. Thank you all. If we get everybody to vote to adjourn, say aye.
Aye.
I
Okay, we didn't do the roll call, but I'm going to go aye.
Yeah, does anybody oppose?
'Cause I don't see anybody opposing here, Skipper. All right, thank you, everybody. And have a great weekend, and we appreciate everything you do. Thank you.
thank you.
Chairman.
Aye.
Thank you.
Ugh.